Hey guys, welcome back to Smoker Spot. We're back after the Corona break, still smoking cigars, and still want to let you know which one is good, which one is bad. Today, we're checking out the brand new Rocky Patel Aged Limited Rare 2nd edition. How it tastes. What the fuck is going on with the 1st edition if you never heard of it? And all that and even more, we will let you know in a second, so enjoy. Good. Nice first draws on the cigar. Already produced a nice ash and some smoothness, which I personally like. No pepper at all, also good. The Aged Limited Rare 2nd edition. Here in Germany, it just came out actually a few days ago, and there was some madness. I was in my favorite store, and he showed me the cigar and said, "Andy, go give it a try. Let me think what you know." I said blindly, just ordered 2 boxes of them, and then the guy made a quick call with the distributor. And then he came back to me and said, "Well, Andy, you know what? No boxes left." I said, "What the fuck is going on? You just showing me this cigar like a minute ago." And I instantly said, "Order 2 boxes," and they're not there. So it turns out that the first charge of it is already kind of sold out here. We're getting some boxes back in autumn. And after I didn't get the boxes, at my favorite dealer, I luckily found one online and bought their box of it, which also was the last one. And don't want to do any advertisement here, but it was Europe's biggest cigar retailer, and he just had, at the moment I was ordering it, he had just like 36 cigars, because in the online shop they tell me how many they have left in stock. It was probably below 50 or so. And I think, man, I was really quick. And there are just 36 left. And then I did some research, and this guy, like I said, mark my words, that was Europe's biggest cigar retailer, and also he just got 2 boxes. I don't know what's going on there, but there might be a problem with the distribution. Anyways, back to this one. The Rocky Patel ALR Aged Limited Rare 2nd edition. Let me tell you a little bit about the 1st edition. It was a similar background story like with the 2nd edition here. So for the 1st edition, I'll show you a picture here. Back in 2015, Rocky Patel himself, so it is said, found out about this special plant, and he decided to make a little production run with it, with approximately 100,000 cigars, which is not pretty much actually when you're thinking about that Rocky Patel cigars are so worldwide. And he was going to age it in an aging room for 3 years. And after that, he decided he will just distribute just 30,000 of them. And the rest of the 100,000 is somewhere going back in his private vault. So that's the story behind it. Actually, I have to admit, I never tried the first edition, so I can't tell you guys how it tastes. But let's assume it's a good one. The second one, however, is good. Very easy draw. I like that. If the draw is too easy, it can happen that the cigar is burning down too fast. And like this, that's a Toro Vitola. You usually smoke like 45-50 minutes. When the draw is too easy, you might lose 5 or 10 minutes, so you're smoking just 35 minutes or so. Anyhow, good draw, nice smoke, as you can see. Still the smoothiness, no pepper. Some notes of, I don't want to sound too crazy here, but notes of roasted coffee beans. There's a sweetness coming along with it. I don't want to say it's a typical Rocky Patel flavor, but it's very close. Don't know if you guys ever were doing a cigar blind tasting, where you have like you have 3, 4, 5, or 6 cigars, all the same. You removing the band and you're just smoking it blindly, which doesn't mean that you need to close your eyes, but in this case, blind tasting means that you don't know what you're smoking. And then you're trying to figure out what brand is it, where is it coming from, all that stuff. Sometimes you're lucky and you're pretty good, and sometimes you fail miserably. However, I would assume if you would giving me this one without a band, I don't know if it could be on point and saying it's a Rocky. The chances are good. So, the second edition now. The first edition was released 2018, so it was aged for 3 years, so they produced it somewhere in 2015, left it in the barn for 3 years, and then released it 2018. And the story behind the second edition is now in 2018. Probably the 30,000 cigars from the first edition was selling like nothing. And so he decided to give it another try and making the second edition. The first one was a Robusto, this one is a Toro. And he made 120,000 cigars. Taking into account that even now, as they were just released, there are no cigars available at the moment, at least here in Europe or in Germany. I don't know how many of these 120,000 he's holding back in his private vault, like maybe 100,000? I don't know. I would just advise, if you see it somewhere and it's still available, go and get it and give it a try. So, Toro, second edition, 120,000 worldwide. It has a Mexican wrapper. Don't know how to pronounce it exactly, but it's a San Andres Mexican wrapper, and the rest inside, like the filler and the binder, is from Nicaragua. And I think you can taste that. It's a nice combination. Mexican wrapper. I think that's from this wrapper where the sweetness is coming from, and then you have this, like I said, this roasted flavors and this and also the smoke flavor. If you think you can taste smoke, you actually can. It's not like you're eating the smoke away that's coming from the cigar, but it has this smoke or this peat like in a Scotch whiskey. I don't want to say it's flavored, but it has this smoke and this peatiness. Good one, guys. Give me a little break. Let me smoke it a little bit further and then see how this one develops. Back with Mr. Patel's ALR Age Limited Rare. Still a good one. But the ash wasn't, or the burn wasn't as even as it should be. But wasn't a problem with the taste itself. But the taste itself doesn't develop as good as the beginning was. It's still a good cigar, but there was no like flavor explosion in the middle or something. It was constantly good, and it got a little bit more intense. Developed some strength, and interesting fact was that the sweetness vanished. So, like in the first third, you had this sweetness together with this roasted flavors. Roasted flavors are still there. Sweetness is gone. So we had a little development, but not as much as I thought. But definitely worth a smoke, especially if you're taking into account that, like, for this turbo, which has a pretty decent quality, it's like, I think around $10 or so. So, not bad. Not bad. Guys, while I'm smoking here and chatting a little bit about Rocky Patel and his philosophy, I want to tell you a little secret about Smoker Spot. Two other guys, Michael and Oliver, two buddies of mine, and myself, we're developing not only this YouTube channel. In future, we're making more videos where we're sitting together and talking about cigars and stuff, and we're planning a podcast about general topics and cigars. And in addition to that, we're at the moment developing a portal website, a database, where you can combine different flavors. And tell you something, it's looking pretty good at the moment. So the theory behind it is that maybe you have a specific cigar, like this Rocky Patel here, and you're saying, I'm looking for a whiskey or a rum or a chocolate that I can pair with it, which is pretty good, which comes pretty good together. So you're typing in, or you're choosing your Rocky Patel, for example, and then the algorithms behind it, calculating and picking out of the database what we have in there, and telling you, well, you have this Rocky Patel, try this whiskey, try this rum, try this chocolate. That should fit pretty good, and it also gives you a second and a third choice, so you can look what you like. And the other entry point is, maybe you don't know the cigar, or you don't know the whiskey, and you just know, well, I want to have a flavor experience which is dominated by sweetness, for example. And then you're giving the database and the algorithm behind it, and telling, give me a sweet experience, and tell me which one is good, and then it's spitting out the cigar that matches the whiskey, the chocolate, the rum, and so on. And all together, we're doing this with podcasts, with the videos, with the reviews, with some news. So you definitely, it's in development, but we'll keep you updated. You should definitely constantly checking out smokerspot.com and look where we're standing. At the moment, there's nothing to see, but it will come. So that's our little cigar project. Well, I don't know about you guys, how you survived this this COVID-19, this Corona craziness. At least here, everything was pretty much shut down here, you know. So a lot of shops and stuff. Also the favorite spots where you go to smoke a cigar, like lounges and bars and stuff. So pretty much the last month, we're staying home and smoking here a lot. And when you spend more time at home, of course you're smoking more at home and not somewhere else. And I don't know what happened in your environment, but over here it was so funny. We have a little house here in Frankfurt, Germany, and we have a pretty big garden, and I was sitting in the garden when the weather was nice and smoking my cigar. Or 3 or 4 cigars per day, to be honest. And then right across my garden, there's another house, and there's a neighbor living in there. Actually, it was all the time. I'm living here for a couple of years, and we were was going along pretty easy. But somehow this lady was disturbed by the cigar smoke, because in the past I wasn't smoking that much at home. So now when I'm smoking 3 or 4 cigars, I'm pretty much sitting the whole day in my garden and smoking cigars, and the smoke is wherever the wind is coming from, it's going right in their direction. And so I don't know if you had a similar experience, but you know, this lady, she wasn't coming at me and telling me, dude, can you please stop smoking so much? I mean, I wouldn't stop smoking. It's my house, my garden. But at least you can talk about things, you know? No. This lady is this, she's like, she has this passive anger somehow. So she was slamming her window and well, not yelling, but yelling like to herself and saying, oh, this goddamn smoke, what the fuck is going on here? It's still stinking here, what the fuck is going on, and all like this shit. But she's not confronting me with it, so I was keep on smoking still. And then the other day, one more thing as a background info. You know, she had some problem with her lungs. She was telling me this a couple of years ago. But when her husband is gone, she's smoking cigarettes. But her husband, shouldn't know about this. So it's her little secret. Every time her husband is gone, she's smoking cigarettes. So, and the other day I met her on the street, and she's telling me, oh, hey Andy, so you're mad at me? I said, no, why should I be mad at you? She said, well, because I'm yelling all the time at myself about the cigars and the smoke and blah, blah, blah. I said, well, really, I'm telling you, I don't care. So, I mean, I said it in a nice way. I said, you know, I don't care. If you have a problem, you can come to me and we talk about it. But as long as you're just talking to yourself, so that's not my business, you know. And she said, well, you know, that's not a problem because but I was afraid. And I said, why you were afraid? What's going on? And she said, I thought every time I was yelling, and I was always afraid that you're coming at my door when my husband is there, and you're saying, well, what are you? Why are you so mad about the cigar smoke? You're smoking cigarettes yourself, and then her little secret would be revealed. And it was so fucking funny. And I said, no, man, your secret is safe with me. Don't worry. I would never do that. And so it was kind of a relief for her. And we talked a while. She was going shopping. I was going my way. Everything is fine. But I don't know if you had a similar experience. If so, let me know. Post it in the comments. And let me know what experience you had with your neighbors during your cigar sessions. It would be interesting to know. Okay, guys, coming to an end. I see I'm already talking for over 10 minutes. kind of hope it's not getting boring, but there's nothing more to say about this one. Good cigar, like 7 out of 10 points, if I would to have to rate it. More or less typical Rocky Patel, with a little story behind it. About the first edition, now the second edition. Hope you enjoyed it. We will now be back. It won't take another 3, 4, or 5 months. We will be back in 1 or 2 weeks with another review, with more news about Smoker Spot, with our database, and so on and so on. So, guys, enjoy your cigars.